it is very strange even to myself, to all of a sudden I just started to have an outpour of the importance of Ogun, the purpose of Ogun in our lives from IFA ELA really. And it's a natural thing that when universe gives you a gift, it's something that you have to use to benefit your continent, to benefit your people, to benefit yourself first. So me just knowing all this information by itself is benefiting me as a person, as an individual, mentally. So it's very important to me to speak about Ogun to every one of us, to inspire us, and for us to have clarity that genuinely IFA ELA, meaning universe, Ogun as the essence of life, is definitely started working on a move forward of Africa through each and every one of us that have taken time out to begin to self-discipline ourselves. And you cannot be clean unless you learn how to become disciplined first. All this quality that I mentioned about is something that is inbuilt in every one of us as Moorish people. You just need to activate it. So to activate it, you need Ogun, because that's what will, the matches, like the match that will ignite that light inside of you that you are carrying around, knowing that, knowingly or unknowingly. So every one of us that have the opportunity to learn about Ogun, try and open your ear to what I'm saying and take it in and begin to work on your discipline, because without discipline it's almost impossible to achieve a long-lasting and clean relation a long-lasting relationship with Ogun, because Ogun is clean in any ramification you want to look at Ogun. Ogun is clean. It's the matches that ignite the light of God in everything, not just in one person and one people, in everything. It's like the sun. Without Ogun, we won't have the sun, we won't have the moon, we won't have anything. That's why we call it vibration. That's why I call it vibration of God. Higher intelligence of God is Ogun. So I'm talking about Ogun to inspire us, and it's only because universe has given me the know-how to do so. How does not using the Ogun that is inside of us affect us as people? First off, I would like to mention this quality of Ogun. Ogun is not just an alchemist, as we were told to believe. There's more to Ogun, like, because it's continuous. So Ogun is not just an alchemist. Ogun is a constructor. Ogun is a mathematician. Ogun is an arithmetics. Ogun is scientists. Now, if Ogun is all that I've mentioned, mathematicians, arithmeticians, constructor, a builder, a scientist, these are who we are as people, Moorish people. This is what we ordinarily carry around, and this is what we Moorish people ordinarily emit wherever we go, in our poo, in our wee, in our sweat, in our everything. This is what we emit as people, and we don't even know it. Now, how Ogun affects us as people mentally is that we're not using this energy that we carry called Ogun. As a result of that, we're having mental breakdowns. Some people, they are able to repress it and fill that void with material things. in spite of all of that, doesn't mean the problem is not there. They're just masking it. And even when they finish in this space and go to another space, they leave that with their generations to suffer the same mental deprivation, I call it, or decapitated, because we've taken on other people's somewhat style of Ogun, I will call it, because it's each to their own. Now, Africa, that is the real, if you like, the overarching Ogun is not using it. So people of Africa that is carrying this sort of energy around are suffering because they're not activating the Ogun that is in them. And the reason why this has become somewhat a norm in Africa, whereby people are not using their Ogun. They know that's why people are not having the people. There's no what do you call it? There's no structure. There's no structure in Africa in any shape or form there at the moment. They used to before, obviously, slavery 500 years ago of a lack of foresight that people are having to deal with, and they're having to listen to other people. They're having to listen to Chinese, Europe, and Americans, not knowing that they know, obviously, why not know? They know they have their own Ogun, because that's where Ogun come from, Africa. So why is the government holding people back from accessing their Ogun and using it to benefit Africa? I think that's the one thing we really need to have to ask our government before we can even begin to the love of IFA ELA upon our lives as people. We need to, and you can't, our government are not the people to fight, because to some extent they're just a messenger of some sort. But obviously they owe us some explanation. It's not a fight, it's if you like, a conversation between a child and a father, a child and a mother. It's a conversation. That is what is good about what universe is doing in our world today. We have to have that conversation whether we like it or not. So not using Ogun that we carry around is causing mental problem in people. Ogun is the algebra. Without all these characteristic of Ogun that I've mentioned, it is almost impossible for any country to lay any structure or any solid foundation that generation and generation will come and have something to build on or to move forward with. And the reason why this is the case is because African people have for a very long time stopped abiding by the principle of Ogun. Even when I was growing up as a child, the principle of Ogun was still being honored by a few people. And the evidence of that I see, even though it's very small, but once they see the evidence of that, which is people who are being able to treat one another with level of truth, like a cultural truth, whereby you can lay some goods along the road and you don't have to stand by it, and you know confidently people who are passing by that may like to buy what you're selling. It could be yam, it could be any type of goods. They will buy it and put money there, and nothing will happen to your money. So there was no stealing. There was no stealing among people. People don't steal from each other. I have opportunity to experience that about Africa. Long time ago, of course. These are the principle of Ogun, whereby you genuinely, it's not something you think about, it's a culture, it's a tradition. You treat each other appropriately according to the principle of Ogun. What I'm trying to say is that more rich people who are carrying this Ogun aspiration about and they're not using it, it means they are going through what I call brain drainage. Brain drain, and you're not using it. Definitely something is going to have to be using it, because you can't just be if it's stagnant, it's a problem for you. If somebody is using it, it's a problem for you. I guess that's what this law means, where they say catch-22, because they make it their business to brain drain the Ogun that you carry about, and then when you don't use it, it's a problem for you. And when you use it, they make sure it becomes a problem for you, because they brain drain the energy out of you. Any ways that they can do it, that's what they do. That is, you can even call that their culture. Because if you're not satisfied with the Ogun that universe has given you, and you have to be brain draining other people, well, what do you call that? And these people have made that their culture. So how do you, not find yourself in a position whereby people will be brain draining you, whether you like it or not? Naturally, it's not Babalawo that is going to do it. It's not Jesus, it's not Muhammad. It has to be Ogun. What I'm saying in essence is that in practicality is that it is time for Africa to not reduce Ogun to Alapata. There's more to Ogun than being Alapata. Alapata, from what IFA ELA is teaching me, is the smallest, the teensy winsiest of characteristic of Ogun. And because people has commercialized stuff so much that everything has to become business, and that is part of what is making the world suffer. And when the world suffer, the people in it suffer. Meaning nature, we're not connecting with nature the way we should. That's why you will commercialize things to the extent that you will start to abuse that thing. It could be cow, it could be goat, it could be chicken, whatever it is. You commercialize it, you begin to abuse those things, you forget the principle that abide by everything, which is the Ogun in that matter, because mind has to be over matter. Meaning we have to, if your mind is over matter, it means your mind has to know the importance of the principle that bind you and the matter as one. If we respect the principle of Ogun in everything we do, I can assure you there will be no diseases in the world of any sort. So that what you're connecting Ogun to is going to be able to respect you. It's a matter of respect. And when you have to respect something, obviously taking it to crazy mass production, some things you just can't do that to. So from where I stand, Ogun is not Alapata, at least not the way the world is practicing that aspect of Ogun. And that's what you, Africa, are now doing with Ogun. You forget every other aspect of Ogun. And besides, what you Africans are doing mostly is too much talking, too much festivity, you just incantation, you just talk. Where is the structure? Where is the building? Where is the honoring the land? Where is you appropriating Ogun properly in our children? Where is you teaching our children, government? Why are you not teaching our children about Ogun, the strength of God that is in them? That's the simplest way to describe Ogun, the strength of God in our children. Why are you not teaching them that? There was a time I was in Nigeria, maybe 3 years ago or so. If it's still on YouTube, it can be researched and you'll find it, because it was on the news, where university students, boys, decided, a group of them, to just go unannounced. It's something they plotted, to be raping girls. What kind of society is this? I mentioned that not to disrespect the government, the churches, or the mosque, but these are the outcome of not teaching our children the Ogun that is inside of them. And this can only be taught through IFA ELA. Even church, mosque, Quran and Bible, it is evident, I can stand by what I'm saying, was written through IFA. Bible and Quran came from IFA. But it's been watered down, if you know what I mean. It's been watered down. It's not potent anymore. It's not overflowing. So something has to overflow like a river, obviously, to allow everybody to drink and not be thirsty. So churches and mosques and Babalawo, they were teaching dry Ogun. And then you think that blood of goat or cow or dog or this or that will fulfill the purpose of Ogun in our lives. No, that don't make sense. Ogun, it's omila, is omi, which some culture call water. That is the infinity, the largest aspect of Ogun. And without that water, we won't have blood. So if you look at it, how can you say blood is more important than water, or blood is thicker than? These are all, blood is thicker than water. These are all nonsense way of looking at things. A very low IQ of looking at things. Even low IQ can do better than looking at things just basic, without inquiring and making sure we connect with our highest self, which is Ogun. Even on the lowest aspect of things, still Ogun that you find there. To what level, that's just another question that we can, find an answer to ourselves, and it's not a problem. Because when you connect with your higher self, that's where the answer will come from. Where you come from, just by ourselves without Ogun, we can't do anything that is solid and permanent. So our children are suffering brain drainage and mental breakdown or mental repression because, and these are the two ways in which we suffer this brain malfunction, if you like. The two ways that the two ways that I know beyond reasonable doubt that other influences are aiding us to be not activating our Ogun. Two ways that I've noted. The first one is when media bombard people with all types of news, videos or vision of things that they made up themselves. Right? Media, television, radio, or media outlet, when they bombard people with news, stories, images, visions that they made up by themselves. And obviously their target and their intention is solely to mess with people's brain because I have a way of taking in stuff, and for you to remove that which is not a part of you, it takes some work. So why else do we leave our children, African children, open to all sorts of other people's cultures that is not of Africa? And we're rather teaching them how to be like an Europeans, or to be like Chinese, or to be like Americans. And you wonder why our children are behaving, why they are behaving in their low mental capacity. So why are you want to be hell-bound on something that is not working for you and your children? When people think when they finish in this space, life is over. Life is just starting. And if you don't make life good here, it's impossible for you to find life that is good in any space at all. Because some people will say, die wretched. This has been said to me in the past by some church people, Jehovah's Witness. Live wretched here. Don't make sense in this world. So when you die, you will have a good life. What kind of nonsense is that? When you are brought here for a purpose, you have to complete that purpose, and then when you are sent to another space, you'll be able to continue with your purpose there. So if you haven't completed your purpose here, what chance do you have where you are going to be going? So it is time for government of Africa to begin to teach our children how to activate the OGUN in them. It's so bad. It's the part of that mental deprivation that they're not allowed to activate the OGUN in them, because you're not teaching it to them. You don't make room for them to even be able to do that. That's why they want to run to America, run to Canada, run to London, run to wherever it is that they can run to. And in the process of doing that, many get killed, many become prostitutes.